Kristen. Girl, it's a rough day. Hey!
Hi, my love muffin.
How are you? I miss your face.
Oh, thank you. Let me give you a little bit more of it.
That's what I love. That's why I love you.
Hello, beautiful doll. How are you doing today? I was hearing as you were coming in, you said you had a rough day. What happened? What's
Girl, look, this gastroparesis was kicking my butt earlier today. I'm like, look, enough of this already. I got stuff to do. But I made it. It was a little rough there for a minute, but it's all right. I'm here now. I'm making it to the lives. Look, I might not be getting nothing else done throughout the day, but we are pulling off these lives, which is important to, so people can learn about you guys and all that good stuff. We have got to get together one day.
We really, really do. My schedule has significantly opened up since like the last time we had the opportunity to really like sit down and connect and all these things. And so, pretty much any day after like 11 in the day, listen.
Cool. Yeah. Look, we get ready to make that happen. We are getting ready to make that happen. Look, so, child. So you guys, this right here, this doll right here, man, I just absolutely love her personality, her energy. This is the Lotus Mother. And she's absolutely amazing. And her and I did a live, year before last. Oh, it's been a minute because I was sick all last year. Oh, wow, it's been a minute. We met in the park and it was absolutely amazing. Her and I had a blast and we're going to do it again as soon as this weather, kind of figures out what it's going to do. Because
so the
as you Virginia, weather is a little bipolar.
It was 30 degrees upon rising, and then I just came back from taking my son to work, and it's like 60 degrees outside, and I have like the roof open. I'm like, we're just gonna crack it like halfway to make sure, what did the elders say? This is pneumonia weather, right? So you don't know whether it's coming or going. So,
exactly. Because when we feel, when the weather is nice outside, then we have our shorts and our tank tops and stuff on, and the elders was like, absolutely not, don't you do that.
Yeah.
But, we don't listen when it comes to that, not the weather. And then we're all sick as a dog in the house. Oh, Lord, Kristen said it's snowing in Denver.
Yay. So hallelujah, holla back. Let's go ahead and get that clarifying energy to come through. We need that earth element, right? So we got snow, so we got water. We got air, we got the earth. Like snow is great, purification and cleansing, right?
I love snow.
Astrological and celestial new year, right? Because we're getting ready to come up here in the spring equinox. So a little snow, not that I want to see it now, because I'm now getting out of like the hibernatory period. But if we got a nice cleansing rain, because we're probably going to get it real soon as we go through March and, coming into April, but we need it. Let's clear out all of that density and stagnation from the winter so everything can start to blossom and bloom. So,
Heck yeah. Look, I told her earlier today to send me some snow. I said, look, I don't want a lot of snow. I would just like for it to snow one time. That's it. Just one good snow, and then I'm good because I love snow. But Kristen keeps getting it. Every time I talk to her, she's like, it's snowing. And I'm like, well, it ain't snowing here.
Where it is. Pop-up season has just started with like the pop-up markets, right? So I actually have a market this Sunday that I just got an invitation. Listen. So let me be a little bit more professional as I'm sitting here in my lounge dress and meditation cushion. So I'm starting to be professional.
This is professional.
But which is interesting because I was like, oh, they're gonna get the real. Like this is how I sit with my clients. This is how if I'm doing an in-person session, let's bring out the mats, let's get down and connect. Let's be comfortable, right? Because oftentimes, like we're talking about professionalism, but we think that it's supposed to look like a certain way because we've been programmed
Right.
to look at things in a certain manner without being authentic to who you actually are, right? Like, let's be authentic to who you are. And so who am I? I'm the girl that would get into her dress, right? Like all of your beautiful dresses, we would consider it like our Sunday dress, but this is my everyday dress. But then I'd sit down in the dirt, dress on, hands in the dirt, picking up flowers, doing all of these things. So this is like the reality of me. But, you know, because I'm a lady, I'm going to put on a blanket so I can make sure everything stays where it's supposed to be because I got my dress on, right? But we forget how to be like ourselves. We really forget how to be ourselves. And for those of you that are just like meeting the Lotus Mother, that's part of like what I do is help other people really reconnect to being themselves. Who are you? Like, who are you before somebody told you who you were, right? Who are you before somebody told you who you could be? Who are you before someone told you what you could do? Who are you when you're sitting alone on the cushion in the floor by yourself? Who are you? And oftentimes we don't know who we are. We're who our mother told us we could be, right? We were who our fathers showed us what was capable or prevented us from doing. We're the career that we've taken on. We're the spouse, right? We're the mother. But all of those things have nothing to do with who you are. Those are positions that you play. Follow where I'm headed, right? Those are just positions that you play in the grand scheme of your life. I'm not a mother 24/7, but I have children, right? So right now I'm just Lotus sitting here with Sandy. I'm not somebody's mother. I'm not trying to be somebody's wife. There's a time and place for that. But I happen to be a wife and a mother and a counselor and a coach, like all of those things. But who is Lotus at the end of the day? I'm the girl that sits in the dirt playing with the rocks and playing with the flowers and talking to the earth. That's who I am at the end of the day. It allows me to be all of those other components and play those other roles. We're not comfortable with being who we are without all of the labels. And I help people lose the labels, right? Like, we got to lose the labels. You can only be viewed one way because you're a mom. Listen, I'm a mother of 4, and if I wasn't viewed a lot of different ways, I wouldn't be able to handle the multiple energies of raising 4 children, right? So you can only dress a certain way or speak a certain way because you're a mother and you're a wife. Do you hold yourself in the highest esteem? If you do, then you're going to carry yourself a certain way. You're going to speak a certain way. You're going to be mindful of those that you represent when you show up in a public domain. You're going to do that because you carry yourself in a divinely way. Like, I am a royal empress, so I'm not going to be out here just doing things that's going to defile or defame the standard that I hold, because I happen to be a wife and a mother. So it's all of those things that still allow me to be who I am, but they don't make me who I am. I am who I am because I'm going to be honorable to those around me, but they don't make me. And we get so lost in that. Like, we wait for everybody else to tell us who we can and what we can, and we forget to just be ourselves. We forget to be ourselves. So
that is so true. All right, girl, I'm getting ready to start grilling you. You ready?
Okay. Fire it away. Fire around.
Because I know who you are and I know what you do, but it's been a minute.
Okay.
So we gotta start all over and redo the questions and put this online so that all the new people know who you are and start following and get to see how amazing you are, because I know you're amazing. And Kristen knows you're amazing, but we want to make sure everybody else knows you're amazing. So what is your business? Let me back up. When did you start said business?
Oh, well, it's interesting. I was really thinking about that on my way home about an hour ago. And so this is 2023, because time is not really real to me, but let's say, so this is 2023, and it would have to be full term. It was started in the extended hiatus period, right? So when it became like a full life business, that was going to be during the extended hiatus time frame. So it's going to be since like 2020, 2021. But prior to that, I was working in a part-time capacity because I used to be a full-time state counselor. And I transitioned from that full-time position, oh gosh, in August it'll be 2 years. So 2 years ago, I transitioned from that full-time business to be the Lotus Mother full-time. But prior to that, I was doing it part-time for about 4 years. So as a totality, about 6 years has I been doing this level of work from a professional standpoint. And then the last 2 years, it's been the Lotus Mother full-time.
I love it. I love it. So now what is your business? What are all of your services? What do you offer? Tell everybody what the Lotus Mother is.
Ooh, that is a full, that's a whole meal, a whole course. So you know how they say if you don't have a lane, you gotta make it. If you don't have a title, you have to give yourself that title, right? And so the Lotus Mother is an elemental fitness oracle, right? And so what that means is that I can give you all of my accolades and my certifications and my degrees on the wall if that's what you'd like. But really what it is that I practice Aboriginal divination, crystal healing, and body alignment therapy. I'm a certified barre instructor. And so what I've cultivated is a sacred environment in which we incorporate fitness, meditation, oracle divination, and group therapy into a weekly format called Luscious with Lotus. So not only do we move for about 45 minutes, because we meet for 90 minutes for 12 weeks. So my main offering is going to be my 12-week immersion, and that's the Luscious with Lotus program. And in that 90 minutes, it's like 45. Sometimes it can be more or less, but we incorporate the movement, and barre is a combination of ballet, Pilates, and yoga. So we're talking strength training. We're talking flexibility training, right? We're talking body sculpting. We're talking energy harnessing, right? We're talking like hardcore warrior goddess energy, right? Let's go in here and open our hips. Let's reconnect to our energy. Let's understand what our body composition is. How much space are we taking up, right? So then once we're able to get moving, because when we move through our energy, we have better clarity. We have better perception. Clarity and perception are two different things, but oftentimes they try to tune them into a synonym, not the same. But when we can move, then we can process better. When we can process better, we can receive better. When we receive better, we can integrate better. And when we integrate better, we live better. So the movement component. So now we've got all this energy moving, right? You're breaking through what's gone through the week. You've let go of these energies that you've been holding on to. Now we're going to talk about it, because oftentimes you'd be like, well, just say what's on your mind. I don't know how to say what's on my mind because I haven't been utilizing my throat chakra recently, right? So my throat is all clogged up. And so my throat is clogged up. So my mind is clogged up. And it's because I'm recycling all of that information. My gut is clogged up. So I'm constipated. I got heartburn. I got a sore throat, and I got a headache. I can't say what's on my mind because my body is out of alignment. So now that I've moved all that energy and I got you all elevated and I got you open up, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it in a collective environment. So then we can not only support each other, but we can witness each other, and then we can help each other, because what I know may not be what you know. But what you know, I may have no clue to that. And what's going on with me, you may have been able to direct me into a resource. You may have just been an ally, or you just may have been in a listening ear that I needed to. And now I've released my indigestion. I don't have heartburn. I've learned how to fix my sore throat, and I'm asleep well because the headache is gone because I moved through all of that. That's what Luscious with Lotus is.
Yeah, that was a mouthful right there. I love it, though. I love it. And when I was going through my my pelvic floor therapy, when they sent me for my gastroparesis, I thought about you when I was going through my physical therapy, when she was putting me in the different poses, the happy baby, the downward dog, something or another. There's a couple different. I thought about you when she was doing all that. I bust out laughing one time. She was like, "What's so funny?" I said, "I'm thinking about my girlfriend." I said, "As you're putting me through these different activities, I thought about her." So now, where are you located? Are you strictly virtually, or now that we've opened up a little bit, are you meeting folks face to face?
Oh, that's a great question. So I do teach a more fitness-based class twice a week locally. So I'm located in Chesterfield, Virginia. So not too far from Sandra, right? Not too far from Sandy. So I'm located in Chesterfield, Virginia, and I teach locally at a gym, UFit gym, and I teach a local class Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays at 8 and Wednesday at 9. And that's going to be more of the what you would consider taking like a bar component or a bar class inside of the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Luscious with Lotus program is virtual, so you can be wherever you are. And
Now, what UFit are you going to be at? The one at Courthouse? Courthouse
no.
in Hull?
Actually just closed down. So I was teaching there on Saturdays. I'm at the one in Midlothian on Midlothian, so closer towards Westchester Commons.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, so they closed that one down the road. Okay.
Yeah, so that one closed a couple months ago, but I used to have 3 sessions, and now I just have the 2 because that location closed. That was my Saturday.
Right.
But
okay
is virtual. So I also do group sessions. If, for instance, so if someone is local, and I say local because I usually am not going to travel to meet like one individual unless we're doing group session, and that's going to be more of like the Luscious with Lotus component. But then I will travel for those on the case by case. What are we looking to do? But everything else is primarily virtual as well as private sessions. So if you wanted to work with me individually, I also do that, but that's going to be like a virtual aspect unless you just happen to be local to me as well.
Right. Gotcha. So now, tell people what barre is.
Barre is a combination of ballet, Pilates, and yoga. So it's not strictly dance, but we do utilize ballet components for the strength training. And if you've ever seen a ballerina bring their body into straight up and down position and externally rotate their toes, that's going to be called a first position neutral, right? So we incorporate the ballet components into helping realign the body, because oftentimes our hips are out of balance, maybe our shoulders are out of balance. We have a tendency to stand one way, sleep on one side. We sit more than we stand. So we've just got some misalignment in the body. So ballet helps to bring in the lengthening of the body, incorporating the joint flexibility, right, as well as some of that strength training. Then Pilates is a hardcore, if you will, strength and cardio and core component, right? Then you have yoga, which is going to be I like to incorporate the yoga from the mentality component, not specifically the physicality, but it's the combination of all 3. So it's a blending of ballet, Pilates, and yoga.
Okay. Now, you've been doing this for a minute, right? So if there's somebody that might be watching now or maybe later on might watch the video, what you do if somebody was looking to do this type of business or to get into barre or yoga, all of the stuff that you do, you've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. So what were some of the challenges that you faced on this journey, if any?
Well, no, I will say there have been challenges, but one of the things I can say is that if you're wanting to get into like a strength training program, remember that it's a training program. So don't come into it anticipating that you can do what I do. I've learned that a lot of people get intimidated by the movements and the ability of the instructor, right? But if I wasn't as capable and competent in what it is that I'm doing, then I wouldn't be able to lead somebody to coming along that journey. So one of the things I would say is like, don't come into it with the idea that you're going to do exactly what I'm doing once you just begin. Like, give yourself that grace, right? Be compassionate with yourself, because I've learned that that's also what get people to quit. Most any type of like fitness or healing journey is that they think that they should be exactly where the individual that they're working with is, and not understanding that they had to go through a lot of density and unbalanced energy to be as composed and balanced as they are. So don't compare your journey to what they've already gone through. And then really, 100% is that you should like interview the people that you're going to work with. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's so many things that's out here. For instance, like you go to the Lotus Mother page or you go to Black Connections and you come across somebody's information and you be like, oh, okay, I have a little bit of understanding what it is. Let me maybe present myself in a manner because I've been doing something for like 6 months or a year, right? Not to say that you can't, but you would want to ask that individual details, questions, maybe ask for, you know, referral or review if you can. That's why I try to put out my reviews. I try to get them directly from the individual or the site that it was coming on. So you can see that I'm posting this like from my site, that I'm not necessarily just fudging it and putting it out there, but ask questions, because in this level of work, like I work with individuals and a lot of things that people share with me, they haven't shared that with anybody, right? We're going to go into spaces that you're going to allow me to come in maybe more intimately than you've let a lot of people in. Before you invite another corporeal energy into your life and connect with your spiritual essence, you should want to make sure that that's a fair match. So don't just take my word for it, but ask me what you need to know in order to make sure that I'm going to be the best fit for you. Because I've told people, it's like, I'm not going to be the person for you. And it's not because I'm capable. I know that you aren't serious, right? And this work requires dedication, regardless of what aspect that you want to do. And I also can tell that by you're not asking and you're just allowing me to be the guide, you're also not really ready to do the work. So it's going to be a waste of your time as well as mine. And I know a lot of people wouldn't do that. They'd be like, get them coins, boo. Right. However, that's not going to be on the side of righteousness, right? I know for me, it's not going to be on the side of righteousness because, yeah, I could take that money, but that money is not being received in a proper manner. So it's not going to be something that's kept. So I got to always look about, what would I want somebody else to do for me? Am I putting myself in that same space? So those are some of the things I would really recommend, because spiritual work, I mean, you're letting somebody into your essence. You're creating a connection and it's intimate, right? And you want to make sure, just like any other intimate relationship, you're asking the right questions and you're doing the legwork. You don't just open yourself up for any and everybody.
Whew. Look, I knew this was going to be a good live, but it's gotten even better than the last live that we did in the woods that day. Look, let me tell you, that was so much fun. We have got to do that again. That was a lot of fun. Now, what are some of the challenges that you faced along the way trying to get to where you are today with your business?
Doing it. Like actually doing it. And I'm going to be 100. I'm going to tell you why I say that, because it's one way to, it's one thing to be like, I'm an intuitive healer, right? And I'm telling you something, I'm bringing this information to you, and you have to think about, even in 2023, where it seems like there are spiritualists or crystal therapists or things that are being more plentiful or visible, you have to think about the individual that is presenting themselves out there into a manner that's going to be misunderstood, right? It's one thing to be like, I hear voices that in somebody's mind that sounds kind of like certifiable, right? Like, I don't know, what do you mean? So actually putting myself out there to do this work, I mean, with my candles, the explaining what they are and how they're utilized, and not that you can't just ignite it and you can use it like a candle that you traditionally would. You absolutely can, but still the work and the intention that went into them is going to be part of the experience that you have. So it really, the most challenging thing was showing up as the Lotus Mother. I did a lot of this work myself, just personally, or with people that I trusted, or that trusted me in my immediate circle. And even before I started, you know, the part-time or transitioning into the full-time, it got so bad, Sandy, it got bad that I couldn't sleep, right? Because I was getting like messages from spirit, and then I would have to get up and I write it, and it would be the same thing that was like, this is not going to stop until you start doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? Like, this is not going to be. And I remember telling my husband, I was like, spirit is on my ass, right? Like, they are on me. And they was like, you're supposed to be doing this. You know how many people you're supposed to be helping. You're not supposed to be hiding this. You've been doing this all your life. Why are you not doing this? It's going to make you not only more mentally and physically, emotionally, and spiritually sound, but it also is your blessing of abundance, because this is what's plentiful for you. You're not seeking it outside of anything else. This is what's natural. This is what's right. So the biggest part was actually showing up and doing it, and not being afraid to be who I am, because I am that clairaudient oracle, I am that intuitive healer, I am a psychic medium, like all of those things, but I'm none of those things either, because this space is like temporary and this corporeal. So not leaning into like labeling it, because then it's like, once you do, that's how people like address you or limit you. And it's like, I don't want to do that either, because then it's like, as I grow, then I can be beyond those things. So just being me and letting what comes through, and then transitioning as it does. But it hadn't been easy. I was just like, the hard part, that part. Like, the hard part is that part, the doing it part. But now, I couldn't imagine doing anything else, because I probably wouldn't be able to, though. Like, I really don't think I could do anything else, because this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Exactly. You're where you're supposed to be. Kristen said, I've enjoyed watching you grow throughout the last couple of years. I know, right, Kristen? That's what I love about the lives, because we get to sit down, we get to do the lives, and we build relationships and sisterhoods, and then I know I have, and I apologize now that I have not been vocal and reaching out and texting and things the course of the past 10 months. I was really bad at that, because it's been a rough 10 months. And I talk to Kristen daily, and it's because Kristen's she's going through exactly what I'm going through. So I've used, and she's a RN, so I've been pulling her knowledge, medical knowledge, and like, okay, what do I need to do here and there? And, she's been helping me, telling me what to say to the doctors, and, just helping me, because she's been going through it for 10 years. And now her son is going through it, and he's only 23. And one of my followers reached out, he's going through, he went through it, but he had a surgery, and now he's great. So I haven't been forthcoming, in reaching out. And it's just because I've just been so just in a slump, so to speak, because I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and all I want to do is get back to work, with Black Connections, and get back to, building my bank account back up, because it's been depleted for 10 months because I haven't worked. And that's all I want to do, and every time I turn around to sit down with one of these lives with you guys, and I know it's coming, I'm sick as a dog the day of. And I'm like, look, I'm in my bathroom having a come to Jesus meeting with my health and with the ancestors. I'm like, y'all tell me y'all want me to do this. You put me here to do this, but my health is not allowing me. So that's where my struggle has been. And so I didn't reach out to anybody, really. I'm just really starting to talk about the process, and what's been going on this year, because I said, the doctor was like, go back to work part-time and see how it does. So that's where these lives are coming about. And you're one of my sponsors for my expo, so this is why we're doing this live today, y'all, because she's one of the sponsors for the expo Saturday. And so she gets her live leading up to the expo. Plus, she's going to go live with me the day of the expo. And I am super, super excited, because I just love everything about you. It's just absolutely amazing, and I fell in love with you from day one. And the day at the park when we did the live was just so refreshing. You know, it was so refreshing. We're at the park, we're just chilling, you know, and doing a live, and it was just super, super cool, you know. So we definitely have to do that again.
I agree.
Because I'm excited about that, because I don't go outside much. So we look, when we do that live, we have to be close to a bathroom.
Oh no,
So
that's true. Yeah.
as long as I'm near a bathroom, girl, we can do the live all day long.
I would come and go and see your backyard. That's what we could do. I could set up and we could do it in your backyard.
We could do that too. We could do that too, because I got a big old front yard, side yard and stuff. You could come over here and we could do the live here. We could work out, you know, bring your the mats and I put my ring light in the front yard, and you can go through one of your whole 90-minute workout things right in the front yard.
It's crazy. Y'all heard it. So now we got to do it. See, this how this works. This how situations like this work. Now that you talked about it, now it's going to be like, remember when y'all said that? Now you got to do it. This is how it happens.
Yes.
See, now.
Yes, exactly. And you're in Chesterfield. I'm in Chesterfield.
Ooh, I just thought of something, but I ain't going to say it right here. I'm going to talk about this afterwards. I just thought about something. There you go. That's how situations happen. But you know, that's really how things have been going for me recently. So right now I'm under a 7-day fast. It started on Monday. So today's day 4. And so it's been fruits and vegetables. And so I've chosen fresh salads, fresh pressed juice, lemon water. Like, that's really just all I've had. My husband and I are undergoing this together. Although between you and me and everybody else, because we're on the interweaves right now, but he's been having a little bit of a harder time than I. And I am so grateful that I'm not like a rookie to fasting, because again, being like that coach and that guide for him, right? But one of the things that
fasting is not for the faint at heart. It really isn't. And you know, unless you have done it multiple times and you're an OG at that, you gotta take it slow. You know, some of my Muslim friends, you know, they fast for 30 days straight. And I'm just looking at them, you know, and I'm like, y'all not thirsty? Y'all not hungry? I mean, y'all come on. They're like, no, we're good. We got this, you know. And I've wanted to try it, and I tried it, but then my partner at the time was like, I'm true to this, you know. This is what I do, you know. Sandra, you're new to this, so I don't recommend you do what I'm doing. Hey, I was down to support what he was doing, you know. We a team, so if you're fasting, I'm fasting. He wouldn't let me fast, you know, like I wanted to, because he was scared that I would make myself sick, you know, and so he was like, yeah, you can do a little bit here and there, but you can't do this 30-day thing, you know, that I'm doing. You're not ready for that.
You definitely got to be an OG in the game to do like a whole 30-day fast. But what I would recommend is, like, you can do small 48-hour fast. Like, so if you use the calendar, right, do a Saturday, Sunday fast, and then maybe, you know, Monday through Friday here, and then fasting like on the weekends. It's a really great way to introduce that, and then you can slowly extend it out. That's what I recommend when individuals that are really starting on their fast. I always be like, you know what? I think of how if someone works like a 9-to-5 job, close schedules, you know, you got the weekend component, and so you'll utilize that to be a little bit more adventurous. Let's put it that way, right? So if you're going to be fasting, usually there's a deeper exploration, right, that people go through. So on the weekend, it might be a little bit more comfortable for you to go through that process. But that's something that you can do. For me right now, as I'm going through this period, because, you know, we're getting ready to go into the new moon energy. We're getting ready to go into the spring equinox. We're coming off that winter hibernation and going into the spring revival and the renewal aspect of it. I really wanted to reconnect myself to like just the energy. And as I've been doing this now, granted, I'm only 4 days into it right now, that when I tell you the ideas and the concepts that are just like flowing through, like, I'm usually already in tune. So if it's on a scale like 1 to 10, I'm usually like an 8.8, and you know, a 9 on a regular day. Right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like a 12, right? And so I'm seeing, and I save these information and these details as it's coming. That's why I was like, this idea that's coming, we'll talk about it off target, because I think it'd be really, really something that'll be great, because it will not only integrate for your platform, but like my platform, as bringing it together, cultivating an audience for people to really see what this is like, and then aiding you on what it is that you're already looking to receive, like the guidance and the details on. So I'm like, okay, great. We'll talk about that. Because one of the things that I've been practicing since the full moon in Virgo. So the last couple of months I've been hosting these new and full moon circles, and I have one that's coming up here next Wednesday on the 22nd. And in that space, so it's kind of like the 90-minute Luscious with Lotus service. However, it's just going to be like, twice a month between the new moon and the full moon instead of a full 90 days. But when I got the inclination to do that, I was sitting just kind of in space like I am now with you, just sitting on my meditation mat, just being, present. And it was like, this is what you need to put forth. This is what you need to do. Since I've started doing those, the connections with people that I have gained and the exposure to the healing, right? Because we don't always see what healing can look like from a component of like authenticity. There's always I did this and then this is the outcome. But what was the steps in between? Like what was those I'm laying out on the floor having like the worst moment of my life day, right? Then I got the clarity that I was looking for, but in between that part, no, baby, it wasn't that great, because I was like, I thought I was about to be taken out of here. I couldn't get it together. And then the information and the details came. So this cleanse that I've been on has kind of been that same journey as that information is starting to come through. And one of the things that I really have been seeing, like really, 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 really seeing, is more circles of women really coming together and supporting each other and letting go of the disdain of being close in connection with sisterhood. Like you were talking about, this is my sister. And then one of those things about it is that I really support you and you truly support me. That's what we're supposed to do. And so you were talking about like you didn't have the opportunity to reach out. That's okay, because as your sister, I should recognize that you got things going on that I don't need you to check on me. That's why I stayed in your DMs, right? Like that's why I'm gonna check on you. We're not doing that enough for the people we say we care about, or the people we say that we support. We're not uplifting them. We're not sharing them, and we're not really supporting them. So when you're talking about like me being a sponsor, that always feels awkward to me. Let me tell you one of the things that I have to learn how to take more praise. Listen, I just be doing stuff because it's the right thing to do, right? Like it's the right thing to do. So okay, you need somebody to take your trash out. Well, she hurt her foot. Let me go take this trash out. You don't have to like congratulate me for doing something that's like the right thing to do.
Right.
But then I realized, like, oh snap, I did sponsor this whole like expo thing that was coming up. You just was putting out that you was looking for vendors, and it happened to coincide. This is how I'm telling you everything I be saying about it come out a lot at once, but it always have a point. So when you put that information out, just like I was sitting in meditation and I got the insight about doing these circles, right? The same day that you put that information out and I looked at the date of it was the same day that the angel number 831 and 138 had been circling around me all the time. So I looked at the date of the expo and I was like, that's March 18th. Oh, okay, Spirit. I see how you moving, right? That's one of those numbers that's always around me. So when it was like, oh, snap, the sponsorship is open, let me go ahead and do this, because that's one of the things that I could do to help somebody who is always trying to help other people, right? So even when you was down and you was sick and you was trying to do all these other things, you was still trying to help. You was trying to help people. So the one thing that I could do is let me go ahead and help you in return and try to go ahead and get this out more, so somebody who's really trying to help people can be witnessed. So that's what I mean about, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it because it's the right thing to do. And if I'm going to be seen doing something, I have to be seen with individuals who are on the righteous path. Like, you have to be an upstanding individual for me to do it. Because if not, I can't tie and connect myself to you. Because then what we doing? Like, what we doing? So this fast has been that much more deeper, because every time I turn around, information that has been coming just come true like this. It just happened. It just go. So you gotta keep moving. Like, you gotta keep moving, and you gotta keep your head up. Like, really keep your head up and keep your wits about yourself, because you're doing everything that you can do. You literally are doing everything that you can do. And just stay focused and dedicated. That's it. That's all you could do.
Yep. Well, I'm doing that part. I mean, that's all I can do. I can't do much more. Hey, did you see the post I put up the other day about the hold on, leading women RVA or something like that? They're looking for vendors.
I did, and I think I reached out to them, and I'm not sure. I have to check my messages, but I did respond, so I can go ahead and vend, right? Because that's another market. Listen, that's how things have been happening for me recently, though. I just got a
because they I seen it, and then they DM'd me about being one of their sponsors, and I was like, okay, well, you know, that'll help get the word out about Black connections and stuff like that. So I signed up to be one of their sponsors, but I knew they were looking for vendors. And it's going to be all women. So, you know, that would be an ideal spot for you if they have vendors still available. I haven't met them face to face yet. I've been following them. They've been following me, but I haven't met them, you know, face to face. And we've been following each other for a couple of years now. And so my fingers are crossed that my health is going to be great that day. And I already know they got bathrooms there. So I'm going to, you know, I'm going to be good. So, you did, Jodea Novels said I did too. Oh, good. I'm so glad y'all reached out to them.
Well,
hello, Mr. Clifton Powell.
Hello. Well, hello. Welcome in, Mr. Powell. It's such a pleasure for you to join. And
he just had a birthday.
I saw that post too. I actually saw that post well. So I need to, since you said it, see, this is how it works. Remember, that's why I said, now you said it. That means I got to go and put my information out there so I can be a vendor for it. That's how it works.
Yes.
I cannot deny opportunities when they come, because then you be sitting around and be like, there's no opportunities. Well, when opportunities are presented to you, you don't take advantage of them. You then don't have opportunities. So if something was presented to me, what I'm going to do? I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity. So
she just texted me that they have secured the venue. So the venue is going to be a Black-owned business. It's a dance studio out there. See how that works? It's a dance studio, and what do? You know, see?
Okay, so they may want to.
And it's Black-owned. And it's Black-owned.
Oh, okay. So you saying I should see if they want to have a presentation of, I got you. I feel you. I'm gonna read between all the lines. I got you. Okay, great. Thanks.
I love it. And then Miss Author that was just in the comments, you know, she's down in Petersburg, right down the road. So we could all be up in there together. I'm excited. I'm super, super excited.
Yeah, okay.
But like Kristen just said, everything is aligning. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, but yeah, when that came across, and then the vending fee, $50, that's it. I was like, oh yeah, I have to share that, you know, because it's Women's Month. Although for Black women, we're women 365 days out of the year. It's not just a month. I hate the fact that they do Black History Month, Women's Month. We are women 365 days out of the year, not just a month, you know. So that's why I always change it. I'll drop the month and put 365 on all my stuff. But I think this is I think it's going to be a great event because it's right there in Stony Point. And she said that there are several women businesses that have opened up right there in that particular area. But I looked up the dance studio and I was like, huh, kind of cool. I like it. Black owned. And then there's another business out there, Black owned. I think it's an event space right there. It's at Stony Point as well. So
I'm just hearing that I have to be extra cute. Like all I'm hearing right now is like just to be extra
cute.
Just to be extra cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can lose some of my weight between now and then, because I gained all my darn weight back. So I gotta see if I want to see if I can get some of this weight off before June, because I turned 50 July 19th. So I would like to lose some of this weight before my 50th birthday.
Okay, so that just means we got to get some sessions in. Like, listen, that's just whatever. All I'm hearing is that this is what needs to be done. This is what we're going to do. I got it.
Yes, pretty much. And I don't do my physical therapy anymore. So, I still can, do other stuff. The physical therapy I have. Yes, I'm a Cancer. Hey, how are you, Miss Clark? Have not seen you in forever. But yeah, so I don't do the physical therapy anymore. So I can do other stuff, and I don't have to worry about, that, because that woman was killing my hind parts. She was killing me.
She was helping you stay motivated and dedicated. Moon and Capricorn energy right now. So I'm going to say motivated and dedicated.
Yes, she was. She was definitely motivating me. I got all the exercises and she said I did really good with my pelvic floor therapy. So that was a plus. I'll have to, off camera, I'll have to fill you in on that. That was hilarious, especially when she went and told everybody. I'm just like, wait a minute. Can you come back in here, shut the door, please? She's like, just telling everybody. And I'm just like, I cannot deal with this woman. But the good thing was, it was all women in there. So it was great. So you and I are going to get together. We'll do a live and show what you do in your 90 minutes. So that way other people, will be willing to, want to get involved with that as well. Because I think what you do is important. And women coming together, I have noticed in the past couple of weeks, I've been crying my eyeballs out the past couple of weeks, because 2023, I came into 2023, but I didn't bring people with me that were with me in 2022, because I have all these doctors now. I've got the GYN, I've got the physical therapy, I've got the gastrologist, I've got my primary care manager, and they sent me to an actual therapist because of the gastroparesis is just kicking my butt. And it's amazing because the past couple of weeks, women have been coming into my life that are so supportive. They've always been there, kind of like in the back a little bit, but now they're to the forefront now that I left what I left in 2022. And it's super, super cool because I'm seeing this sisterhood. I've got nothing but brothers. I've never had any sisters. I've always wanted a sister, So now I'm starting to see a different set of people coming into play. Because I took a stand, and decided to change things that were going on in my life, people that were not benefiting me in any way, shape, or form, And so I made a conscious decision to 2023. That's it. Mm-hmm. When I step into 2023, it's going to be a new circle. And it's been so refreshing because the ladies are so supportive. And I haven't really had like a sister circle, so to speak, because every woman that I've gotten close to in the past, they always stabbed me in my back like clockwork. Never fails. When I got sick last year, well, I got sick November 2021, but it really kicked in May 18th of last year. All these women that I thought were my ace boon coon, so to speak, you know, my ride or dies. Girl, do you know none of them checked on me when I got sick? None of them cared when I got sick. You always checked on me while I was sick. Kristen always checked on me while I was sick. When I did that $9.99 deal, I got 104,000 followers. Only 69 people took advantage of that. And you took advantage of it multiple times. And I appreciate you for that. Because all I was trying to do was just keep the page moving. Because everybody knows these stupid algorithms, you know, are just treacherous to a small Black-owned business. You know, if you got millions and millions of followers that are truly supporting you, then it's different. You can miss a day or two and it's no big deal. But for us, the small Black-owned businesses, that algorithm is not for us. It was not designed for us. You know, it's designed for people outside of our community. So if we miss a day, it is catastrophic to our businesses. And here I was going to have to miss 11 months. And I was just like, Lord have mercy. And I was spending a lot of time in my bed crying, you know, because I was just like, I built this from the ground up. And I'm seeing it slip away. Even as I sit here and speak to right now, I'm still concerned, you know, because of, you know, people still not supporting. You know, they will go out and they will support the businesses that really, they're bogus businesses. They really are not what I stand for and everything that I stand for. What they'll do is give you that lip service to get all your money out of you, you know. And I'm like, I'm me. That's the only person I know how to be is me. I'm always going to be me, you know. And so when I came into 2023, I did a lot of stuff for people free of charge, you know, because I love our community, you know. But as I was talking to my therapist and stuff, she's looking at me and she's like, oh no, you leaving all that in 2022. She said, you will find your core people in 2023 that are going to be your ride or dies. She said, start changing how you are seeing things and focus more on yourself and, you know, getting back to you. Because at one point I had lost sight of who I was in 2021. And then I got sick in 2022. So it's been a lot of unpacking. But what I've noticed is women are coming out of the woodwork, and not just women. A lot of elders are coming. And I know that ain't nothing but the ancestors doing that, because they know. And when I look, I've got all my elders, my grandma Rita and all them are right there. And I gravitate to elders. I always have, because we can learn so much from them. And that's what's coming around. Some elders are coming around, and then some people our age are coming around. But I'm starting to see women that just care about me, you know, and it shows. It's not gimmicky or nothing like that, you know, just like when you and I sat that day and we talked in my car. And it was raining cats and dogs, and we see the Secret Service roll up with somebody. You know, you and I are just like, God, we have front row seats to whatever the heck was getting ready to go down. But it was a day of, when I left you that day, I came home. I took a shower and I cried my eyeballs out the whole time I was in the shower. But they weren't sad tears. They were happy tears, because I knew who you were that day. You know, at that moment, I knew. And I was just thanking the ancestors left and right, you know, as I'm crying my eyeballs out, taking my shower, because I'm like, I love you guys so much. Because anybody who knows me personally knows that I love Black women. I just love us. I love me some us. I mean, I love the whole community. But sisterhood means everything to me because it's all I've ever wanted. All I've ever wanted is to have a group of girls, you know, that we could go on girls' trip or, you know, girls' day, and or we could just sit and not do anything, do movie night, you know, at each other's house, different weeks and stuff like that. All of that stuff, you've seen all that in the movies. Living Single was one of my favorite shows growing up. How all those girls live together. And I mean, I just love Queen Latifah. She is just the bomb diggity. But Max, I just gravitated to Max. She was super, super cool. But the dynamic of those four ladies living together and doing things together, that's what it's all about. You know, I watched my aunts. My Black aunts did everything together. You know, I mean, they did everything together. And it was just super, super cool. And that's all I've ever wanted. I grew up around boys, you know. So where I grew up, I was the only girl my age. The girls were either very much younger than me or they were super, super older than me. So I had no choice but to grow up around nothing but boys, you know. And I was a jock because I played sports. But I always wanted girlfriends, you know. And I just never had that because for whatever reason, I'd always get screwed over by them, you know. And even recently, I just lost a very dear friend of mine, you know, because she put some side dude before her sister. And I'm just like, okay, so here we go. And now that friendship, you know, is dead in the water. But it's a friendship that's done. Now, this is something we go through years. We've gone through this for years. And every time we stop talking, it's always behind a dude on her part. So I was talking to the therapist about it, and she was like, I don't know why you're telling me. You already know what you have to do. What you telling me for? And I was like, oh, rude much. And she was like, no, ma'am, I'm not being rude. She said, what I'm telling you is, Sandra, you backtrack too much. She said, once you let somebody go, let them go. Stop letting them come back in and continue to abuse you. She was like...
And she say that because the card I pulled for you today was nothing is set in stone and it's a mutable moon. And that's exactly what I was literally going to say. Like, that's part of the energy that's coming through for you, is that you got to clear it out. You got to stop going back and forth with people who is doing nothing but showing you who they are. So the one thing that I really have been witnessing taking place, especially in my healing goddess circles, is that people going so much back and forth, being like, well, what about this or what about that? What about what they showed you are you not comfortable with accepting, right? If they showed you that they don't care, why is it that you want to believe that they do? If they showed you that they're not supportive, why do you want to believe that they will be? If they showed you that they're a liar, why do you want to believe that they're going to tell you the truth? Why do you keep going back and forth? And a lot of it boils down to is that we were taught that we should put everybody else's needs, cares, desires, and concerns above our own, right?
Right. Facts.
But we're not going to do that. So 2023 is a numerological year of a 7. 7 is going to be your internal ladder, right? I always like to take the 7, and if you know, with like a diving board, right? It looks just like a platform, right? You got your ladder and platform. This is the year to either go up the ladder, dive off the diving board, and spring yourself forward, or it can turn into a guillotine. And into an aspect. You can walk up that ladder, you can go to the ledge, and you can fall right off, and you can continuously hang yourself in the trap that you find yourself going in. So you're at the point right now is either I'm going to spring myself forward and I'm going to jump out here into the abyss of everything that can be changed, right? Because nothing's set in stone. I don't have to do this. Or I can walk up this ladder, go into this diving board and hang myself with it, right? Like that's the component, and that's the energy, and that's what's permeating around you right now. And that's a beautiful thing, because now you can cleanse it away. That cancer and energy of you can actually go in and clear it away, and then be comfortable with what you come out of the shell with, right? You can come out of that shell being renewed, rejuvenated, and being okay with letting everything else go that has no premise. We feel like we're supposed to take these people with us, but anything that's stopping your wings from soaring is holding you back. And you got to either clip your wings or clip the ties. You got to decide which one you want to do. And clearly it sounds like you
I chose the ties.
Yeah.
I chose the ties because I'm about to be 50. I will be 50 July 19th. And I was like, do I want to spend the rest of my life still dealing with people who don't really care about me? They know what I can do for them. And that's why they were in my life. They know my abilities as far as how far I'm willing to go for somebody that I care about. And I'm willing to go to the end of the earth for somebody that I care about. But what I noticed was when I got sick, there was not that same warm, fuzzy feeling I would feel when I was doing something for somebody else. It wasn't coming back to me. And I found out early on that a lot of the Black-owned businesses that I was super, super close to did not care. It was always about, what can Sandra do for my business? What can Sandra do to put me out there? I know what she's going to do because I know the type of person she is. And so it hurt for a very long time. I would lay in my bed and cry my eyeballs out because I'm sick as a dog. I'm puking my guts out. I'm on the toilet. I have water coming out of all three holes. I'm miserable, sick as a dog. And I literally sat there, I don't know how many times, and was like, just take me, I'm done. I'm through with this. I told the ancestors, I'm like, can I just come hang out with y'all? Because I'm tired. I'm freaking tired, And even as I was sick as a dog, people were still taking. They were still taking every little bit of energy that I had. And then I finally hit rock bottom, and I was just like, enough of this. I'm done. And so that's when the shrink told me, she was like, write letters to everybody. She said, it's up to you if you mail it. You don't have to mail it. She said, but write it down. And then when you're done, burn it. Yep. If you choose to, or mail it and then be done with it. I only wrote one letter. And I emailed it. And then I was okay. But when I emailed it, the rebuttal that I got back to it, I was just like, why did I even bother? And that's why I didn't send all the other letters, because I was like, it's pointless. I'm just not going to worry with it. And I didn't write but one letter, because there was only one that was, on my heart. So I wrote that one, and I'm okay with the decisions that I have made coming into 2023. I'm okay, with that. I'm cool with it, because I know that I sleep a little better. I don't sleep much anyway, just because of everything I've got going on medically. But I sleep just fine at night with all the people that I left in 2022. I'm cool with it. And that's what people don't understand, and they've never understood about me, is it's easy for me to cut people off. When you have wronged me royally, I just cut you off, and I tell people, if I can cut my birth giver off, nobody's exempt. Nobody is exempt if I can cut her off, and cutting her off was something that I needed to do for me, because that was a lot of childhood trauma, and as an adult, still trauma. You're not gonna keep doing that to me over and over again. So I cut her off 2013. Oh, I sleep so good at night. I do.
There's a lot of there's a lot of tethers that we have been connected to, and as much as like that is a lot to get out, right? Like a lot of things to get out. There's a lot of tethers that we have been tied to by the considering it family and friends, right? The F's, right? We the F words, let's call it that. And we always say the F words. These are our friends and their families, right? But if you understand the etymology of those words and what is a familiar, something is like a familiar. If you think of a witch's familiar, that familiar is supposed to be there for her regardless of whatever it is, right? It's supposed to be there to alert of dangers, but also it's one of the most allegiant and allied energies that individual can have. And that's kind of what family is supposed to do. Well, when we are not familiar with each other and we grow to a space where there is no commonalities and there's no connection any longer, then it has to no longer, it becomes unfamiliar, right? And anything that's means that it needs to be released, and it has to be, it's not compatible, and it needs to be done, right? And we have been told, or there's been this guise that has been given, that we're supposed to take whatever a familiar gives you because they are allegiant by some level of blood. It's never on the other end that you shouldn't do that to like your family or friend. You are supposed to accept it because it's your family or friend. And when we finally get to a space of saying, I'm not going to allow anyone to treat me less than what I deserve, I hold myself in the highest esteem, and I'm not going to allow myself to be treated anything less. Those that benefited from the lack of boundary, right? The lack of boundaries, there isn't anything that they can do at that point because they were only there based upon what they can be receiving of. Most people themselves are just taught to take. And oftentimes, especially, you know, women, we're taught to give. Like, you should be the nurturing and the providing and the essence of that. One of the cards that came through the other day was the full moon in Leo, and it said, don't let your pride get in the way. Well, one of the things that people don't really understand is that the pride is not just necessarily the ego. In the lion kingdom, the pride is the family. And oftentimes we have to remember that just as though we are born into a family, we are individuals, and we all have our own purpose and path in this life. So even in what you're trying to do, you cannot let the pride get in the way either. So it's not just about ego, it's also about those that are around you, because it'll be the same people that are around you that will be the same people that will bring you down if you let them. So you have to stand strong on who you are and be comfortable with that. As long as you can look into the mirror and sit with self and know that you are moving from a righteous space, and you know that within your heart. You know that within your heart, you know that within your gut. We don't always know that in our head because our logic is taught from external circumstances. So we got to go inside, which is going to be our heart and our gut. And as long as you can literally know that if you were standing at a place of judgment, which we're really our own judge and jury, right? There's no external force judging us. But if you can stand in a place of judgment and look at yourself in an honest manner, then there's nothing else that you can do. And if there's somebody who you can't call in your worst of times, they should not be the person that is standing to you at your best of times. So my husband read a quote to me the other night, and I was like, what are you talking about? But he goes to me and he was like, hey, babe. Yep. He was like, listen to this. He was like, the woman sitting with you at the top should also be the same woman that would sit with you at the bus stop. And I was like, facts. I mean, I feel you on that aspect of things.
Yeah.
Right? And then he was like, are you that person? But remember when I was riding the bus and we only had one car? Shut your face. But at the end of the day, it's really that level of energy. You can't be sitting, everybody will be like, oh, I was with you then, or I knew you. No, you didn't know me when I was like taking the bus fare to get to market to, trying to go over here. You had the car, but you give me a ride. But you was like, I, that's my people. No, the people that will be there for you are the people that show you I am going to be there for you because they are there for you. Everybody else is a bystander, and let them stand by. That's it.
Right.
Just let them stand by. And when you're on standby for the flight, you don't necessarily know if you're getting on this piece, right? Everybody that you know is not getting on this plane with you. They just need to be on standby. That's it. Because you only got 6 seats on the plane, and one of them is the pilot, and the other one is got to be your security person. and the other person is you. So if you only got six
Yeah.
seats on the plane, and the pilot and the security officer and you is on it, the people everybody else that's in that space has got to be there for a reason. Because if you don't know how to put your parachute on, you can't be looking at me to save you, because I can't save you before I can save myself. So you gotta let everybody else be the bystanders and put them on standby. They don't even know if they're getting on this flight. As a matter of fact, you on standby. That's it. And that's how I learned how to move, and I had to really let a lot of things go. And as harsh as that can be for some people, they don't get it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's also part of the turmoil they continuously find themselves in. So as you are starting to come out of that, and you can recognize the way that the blinders were on, it's like when you take the blinders off, when you wake up in the rise into the day and the sun is like really hitting and you just trying to get it together and you don't know. That's the kind of same aspect that you have when you come out of a situation where you have had the blinders on for a long time. Now as they start to come off and you start to open your eyes and you see things for what it is, you don't necessarily then be like, I want to go ahead and be blind again. That's not how that works. Now when you can witness, then there's nothing else that anybody else can hold over you. Why? Because I know who I am, and you don't have the wool over my eyes, as they say. So you just coming into a space of your own. And for anybody that can't understand that, that's really their loss. They don't have anything to do with you.
Right.
So you got to
well, it's
moving.
It's a new situation now. That's for sure. Because it's been a long road. It's been a long year, and it's been stressful. And I'm just like, okay, 2023 is going to be 100% better. And from January to now is 100% better, And the lives, that I'm doing with you guys have just been absolutely amazing. And I told a lady the other day, she was like, you get on your lives and they're all women. Where are the men? And I said, well, the men haven't came forward yet. I said, but as soon as a man signs up, for a mental health Monday or a talk about it Tuesday, or signs up to talk about his business, I said, then I'll be talking, to men as well. I said, my page is not geared towards women. I said, it just so happens that the ancestors have put these women in line for a reason. I said, so I'm rolling with it, because everything happens for a reason. I don't believe in coincidences. Everything is done for a reason. And I know that the ladies that I have interviewed from January to now were put on this, on this path with me for a reason. Blessings Ranger is demanding to go outside for a walk. Okay, Kristen. Kristen's got to take the dog out in the snow.
Oh,
but this is a good start, to the year. It's been an amazing start. And the fact that, you and I got to do this live, and we're going to do a 90-minute, thing. So, because I want people to, if I can be the guinea pig, I don't mind being the guinea pig, so people can see what it is that you do. And that's why I loved when we met in the park, because it was super, super cool. And we had a ball, and it was nice and relaxing. And then now we get to do it again in the very, very near future.
Oh, yeah. No, it's going to be very near future. So y'all be on the lookout for that. And I just looked at the time.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. Like, this is how our conversations are, really natural. So I'm grateful for that.
Because her and I always lose track of time.
I know, but I looked at it. I was like, oh, I got to go get ready for my session. It's Thursday, and I got Luscious with Lotus at 7 p.m. So I got to go.
Yes, ma'am.
I got to go and so get ready for my session. But I'm going to watch this back because I never see it while I'm in it. I'm just here, and I'm in the moment.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't really pay attention to what's going on other than you. I pay attention to the guests, but I don't pay attention to anything else. But I'm so glad that we did this today. And you and I will get in touch very soon and get together. I mean, hell, we could go do lunch,
After my fast.
Yes, after the fast. We'll wait till after the fast. But I'm so glad I got to see your face today. It is always such a pleasure hanging out with you, and I'm just waiting for the day that I get to hug you again. So
I love that. So I will go ahead and sign off so I can get ready for session. But this
yes,
is awesome.
you have a great 7 o'clock session. I'm proud of you. Keep up the awesome work that you're doing, and don't forget to reach out to the vending people, because I know she's limited on space. So I want to make sure that you're in there. And the author said she reached out as well. So I got my fingers crossed both of y'all get in there.
Do that in between session, and then I'll be seeing you on Saturday too. So that'll be great as well. We're gonna
yes, ma'am. I'll see you Saturday. I'm excited.
Love it. I will talk to you soon, sweetness.
Mwah. Okay. Have a great day.